name's Bianca.
And I'm Kim.
Welcome to Her Presence. On this podcast, we talk about spirituality and mindset, but in a way that is real, embodied, and lived.
This is about women rising, turning their pain into purpose, and building themselves up whilst building their lives. And on today's episode, we've got our first guest. This is Toni, and she's a makeup artist with a truly inspirational story. We're going to delve into her early career life and how you've ended up to where you are now.
My stepping stones through life.
The stepping stones in life. I love that.
And the face behind Makeup and Mindfulness.
Yes!
Right, Toni, darling, thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's funny because before, as we was planning the podcast, we wrote a list of people that we wanted to come onto the podcast. And you was one of the first people that I thought about. And you'd only followed me on Instagram like the week before, and I just was drawn to your energy. I found you really relatable. Makeup and mindfulness, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that you're balancing the two, because it's almost like, yeah, we can be beautiful, yeah, we can look after ourselves as women and be well put together and put time and effort into the way we look, but also the mindset and the mindfulness and the nervous system and slowing down.
Goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
It goes so hand in hand.
Exactly. And I've seen a few other things on your page, you know, your story about PMDD.
Yeah.
And I just found you really intriguing, and I really wanted to know more. So I'm really excited that you're here. We're going to ask you everything under the sun. Moon and stars. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was about to say it.
You ask away, girls. You ask away.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Well, I'm excited because obviously Bianca knows quite a bit about you, but I admittedly don't know as much about you. So this will be, it's like I'm in the audience right now learning about your story as everyone else is going to learn your story. Obviously, you are a makeup artist now, but can you tell us where the journey started, what your early career life looked like?
Yeah, so makeup for me I never thought I'd be a makeup artist. I literally went to university doing youth work. That's what I've got a degree in. And that was my life for about 6 years, from volunteering from a young age to then going on to doing it as a full-time job in a school for vulnerable young people. So that was literally my life. But lockdown happened. And in lockdown, I was working from home, I was bored. And then loads of online courses were coming on about makeup and stuff. So I thought, I'm going to start having a little look at these. So started copying the looks, and then I was doing like random looks posted on social media. People started asking for makeup, and there you go. I left my job after like 6 months or something when I went back. But youth work were a massive part of my life.
Yeah.
And it still is a massive part of my life, and I love it. And one day I would like to dabble a little bit more further into it, change lives. That is just, I loved it.
Yeah.
So do you think, because we all have a soul's purpose, we all have a soul's mission, would you say that the youth work and the helping people kind of thing is more your soul's purpose, and that the makeup's something that you enjoy, or a bit of both? What would you say?
I'd say my sole purpose is helping people, 100%. I feel like makeup became my therapy in a time where I were probably struggling a lot more than I thought, because obviously working as a youth worker, working in schools and education, burnout became a big thing. So makeup became my therapy, and that's where the makeup and mindfulness kind of came into it. And I had to change my name on Instagram because the pupils started following me, and I was like, right, you can't follow me. And I thought, what can I call myself? And as a joke, one of my students said to me, makeup and mindfulness would be good for you. And I thought, I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
Better not copyright that.
Trademark that.
I'm trademarking that. So yeah, that's how makeup and mindfulness happened. But yeah, soul's purpose, 100% helping people. So I'm trying to like combine the two. And I feel like I'm getting there, but I think it just all takes time. I've been doing makeup 5 years, and I've only just got to a point where I think, right, I can see the vision of how I'm going to put them both together.
Yeah.
But for a while, obviously I need to build the makeup up. I needed to get really, really good at it. I needed to push it out there, and now I'm just like, right, the two can come together.
So what was it like working as a youth worker? Like, what on a day-to-day basis, what was that with?
So when I did the youth work, that was more of my placements and stuff for uni. I did a lot of volunteering from a young age, but then my actual job was working in a school in the pastoral team. So working with vulnerable young people, making sure that they're basically following the right path in life through education. So they were 14 to 16, and I loved that job so much. But again, just burnout became a thing. And
what do you think led you to that burnout?
because I cared too much. And I know that sounds really like
I get it.
cliche.
Yeah.
I cared too much, and like me being a youth worker, it were a blessing and a curse because I'm a very empathetic person. So a lot of people in that job role will say to you, switch off, like you can switch off, like, and just act very robotic. I can't do that. Like if I have a child that's come up to me with a problem, I have to solve it.
And you was only young yourself
And I was
as well.
young, yeah. I started that job as soon as I come out of uni. I already had that job because that was my 3rd year placement, and that's where I stayed for like 5 years. So I must have only been about 21 or 20.
Yeah.
But I started the placement at 19.
Well, my mum, she works in children's homes, and she's always worked with vulnerable children, and she's always come home and told me stories, and we've cried together about some of the things that she's seen, and it took her a long time to build up that sort of emotional strength, and to be able to leave it at the door before she comes in.
Yeah.
And like
But-
detach from it as
but
well.
even still, she does carry it in her energy,
Yeah.
and she does get upset, and it's
so
it's
hard.
tough. It is.
Yeah.
I think it's very contradictory for me to say this because I did it from a young age, but I think you do, not older, but I just couldn't take it on at that point. I was still finding
course.
myself.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're
Like I'm trying to find myself, but then I'm also so caring of all these kids that I literally felt like I had about 30 kids. Like my farm group were my children, and I wanted to protect them. But if they brought up to me, it was just too hard to switch off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you got led into that when you was young.
Yeah.
So that you knew from day one what you was about, and then you come away from it, build yourself up as a person, learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, deal with your life's challenges, ups, downs, and now you're at a place where you know you're probably more headstrong and ready to kind of dip back into that.
100%. I feel like if I went back into youth work now, it'd be a totally different ball game. I'd still be really empathetic, and I still won't be able to probably detach myself from the issues, but I would know where I kind of stood with it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is true, like everything does happen for a reason. Makeup came in, and as much as people were like, as if you're leaving teaching and you're leaving education and you've worked to become a makeup artist, and it'd be like really shocking for people. It'd be like, it'll all make sense one day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll all make sense one day as to why I've done this.
I think working in the beauty industry, there's always been that stigma around it.
God, yeah.
That it's not a real career, and it's always seen as like
The dumb girls go for beauty.
Oh, you don't have GCSE, so you go for. It's not the case.
No.
In the slightest. If anything, it's one of them. Well, I won't say one of the hardest jobs, but it's mentally
It's 24/7.
hard, emotional.
Yeah.
Well, you're like
strenuous.
a therapist as well, aren't you? It's
Yeah.
like you're not just doing beauty, you're not just doing treatments, you're not just doing makeup. You're caring for someone. Like
We are their safe space.
Yeah. I've got like my studio down in Burley, and it's like I'm just on my own now because I wanted that private space to just give my client like the most attention I could without there being loads of distractions there. And I just feel like when people come in there, they do come in for a bit of a therapy session too, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. But then my clients probably think, oh, she was just listening. She will just listen. No, like they will leave, and I'll be like, how can I help them out?
Oh,
like if I
bless
could
you,
help them further, I
Yeah.
could. But you know, that's where I feel like the jobs are so similar, but they're not.
That's what I was just about to say. You'll probably find that from working as a youth worker and knowing how to help people, even just being comfortable to come to you.
Yeah.
That'll probably carry on into your makeup career as well.
100%. Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot of people out there that you can be a really good makeup artist, but if you haven't got that personal and like
Oh, definitely.
them skills to just make someone feel warm when they walk in a room, it's pointless.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that job because you can't have the ignorancy of just not caring.
Yeah.
And I think it makes a massive difference because if I go into a department store and sit down and the girl's energy's off, I won't buy that makeup. Like, I walk off. And when I was younger, I worked in makeup for a little bit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I worked on a few different beauty counters. I did Benefit. I think that's where everyone starts. Well, back then I was like 19, so it's quite a while ago.
The Benefit brows.
Yeah. I did do the
I used to get my brows waxed at Benefit.
Yeah, I
when
loved
was
it. I
younger.
didn't do the waxing. I just worked on I just sold the makeup. A few different makeup counters, and then I did a Christmas temp job at Mark in Manchester, and I loved it. But I think I enjoyed the selling more than actually sitting down doing the makeup because I'm a people person.
Yeah.
But I still do my makeup to this day, how I did back then in 2016. So I need to go and book a lesson.
Yeah, you come to me, girl. We should do it. Oh, your makeup does look banging.
I know. Now it makes sense.
That lip combo is staring
That
at me.
makes sense. No, babe.
Jack of all trades over here.
Oh, I love that.
So we've spoken about your early career in the youth work.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned how you started learning the makeup looks and delving more into makeup. So do you want to speak more about that experience? And
yeah, like when I started doing makeup and I was doing the looks I'll post them on social media, I got a buzz from it, and it was like a chance just to have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And when I started posting it, I thought, oh, I'd love to do this full time. But I thought there's just no way. Like I work in education. At this point, obviously it was lockdown. Didn't have any clients because I couldn't do any clients, and I couldn't do looks on anyone else but myself. And if my mum and dad wanted me to have a little go on them, I couldn't. They couldn't, because obviously I was living at home. But yeah. So when lockdown finished, I started just getting a few of my friends, and they'd come round to the house, get them to sit there in my living room in a makeshift chair. Didn't have the biggest kit because at that time, like, everything was so expensive as well. Like, I didn't know where to start. But then I ended up going and doing a course, and it were a 2-day intense course. But I knew a lot of the looks, but I needed to get the health and safety, the insurance, and stuff like that. And then from there, I feel like I just hammered in on the content, but it wasn't aligning properly because I was still really bogged down with my job. Do you know what I mean? I was still working 5 days a week and trying to do Saturdays and Sundays of makeup. So I work in 7 days a week, becoming more burnt out.
Yeah.
And then I come to a turning point where I was like, right, one of them's got to go. And it were either the makeup or the youth work or.
So did you just literally bite the bullet and just quit your job, or how did that sort of?
So I wrote the notice out on a piece of paper, in pencil, really bad. I know I shouldn't have done that. And I just walked into my manager's office, and it was really hard for me because I literally felt like I was going through a breakup with my job because I didn't know what, but I knew it was the right thing for me to do. And a lot of people were saying, Toni, don't, like, you're going to go straight self-employed in beauty and you don't even have any clients and stuff. And I said, yeah, but someone's telling me to do it. And like the pit in my stomach were like, you need to do this because it's going to work out. So I went in, handed my notice in, and then I worked a month and then went self-employed.
And that's the thing as well, you can't listen to other people.
I can't.
You followed your intuition.
That's your gut instinct telling you. And there's so many people out there that don't understand the self-employed life and are quick to say you need that secure, stable job, where obviously self-employment can bring so many benefits. And
that's how we've been programmed to make us think that we need to work the 9 to 5 because that's safe.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, this is safe.
Yeah,
this is safe.
Exactly.
And it gives you more freedom.
Oh, 100%. And at the time, like I said, I didn't have loads of clients and stuff. So I knew I was taking a big risk financially, but it really did work out. And within like a couple of months, I was like earning the same wage as what I did. So that was when I could be like to everyone like,
fuck you.
I was going to do that then, but I thought I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but I thought, you know what?
No rules out here.
No, okay, then if I can swear one. No, but I literally just thought to myself, like, if I don't do it now, I had no kids at the time. I'm not saying you have to do it if you don't have kids or whatever, but I just had no responsibility.
Exactly. You was at home with your mum
and dad. And then I took the plunge after like 6 months of moving out and stuff like that, and I got my first car and everything. I'd just been self-employed. That were a stress though.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I realised that probably there were a lot of other factors coming into it where, right, I needed to get away from the 9 to 5 working in an office kind of vibe in a school, because I could concentrate on me then, because that's when I started to realise that something wasn't quite right with me. But you know, like obviously I've mentioned the PMDD before and I've spoke about it on Instagram, but I think this is my calling because it gives me a chance to sit back, have a career, but also work on myself more and figure things out.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about PMDD and what we've experienced and gone through with that?
It's honestly been a whirlwind, and I didn't even know it were an actual thing till probably a couple of years back, and I got diagnosed with it in November 2024. So actually not that long since. But I knew from a young age that something weren't quite right. I hate saying it like that, but it just weren't like people were having, you know, like pre-menstrual. Oh, I'm moody. But I was thinking, no, I'm not moody. I'm like actually in a really, really, really bad place here. Like 2 weeks from period, my whole brain chemistry would alter, and everything that I loved, I just hated.
Really?
I'd think people hated me. I'd be like, my mum and dad aren't proud of me, and it'd give me such negative emotions, and it was horrible. So went to doctors numerous times. Fob me off. No, you're fine. oh, you're fine, trying to like just give me tablets.
Antidepressants, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which eventually I did end up taking, and it was part of my journey, and it did work out for me at the time. But when I started to delve further into it, I started having CBT and stuff like that, cognitive behavioural therapy about it. And a lot of it just stemmed from the anxiety of the belief that I didn't have in myself. So the PMDD had just caused a lot throughout the years, and I'd just put it under a rug, and just not dealt with it.
And then it all built up.
It all built up, had a bit of a breakdown, and now I'm starting to get help, and I'm like into my fitness, and it just really helps.
Good for you, girl.
Yeah.
So what help is there for PMDD?
Not much.
No.
No, not much at all. So I did CBT through. So I used to do private therapy.
Okay.
Didn't feel like it worked for me, but I don't know.
What sort of therapy?
So
was
just
that the CBT.
This what private therapy was, the talking therapy. So just like one-to-one,
like
counselling, basically.
Yeah.
Didn't
It's not
really
getting
work
to the root
for me.
cause, is it? It's
No.
just talking over your problems again and again
Yeah.
and again.
It was making me more anxious.
Yeah.
And I hear
It
that
does,
so many
yeah.
times with like
It's-
talking therapy.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
just
I felt
reliving
like
it over and over
You're just
again.
asking me to speak about something, but then I'm just going away.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
Like,
it.
okay,
It doesn't
so
work. I think that works for people who've been through a traumatic experience. They've got no one to talk to. They've got it all built up inside them, and they need to let it out. And I always
Yeah.
think, go to that, let it all out, speak about it, and then go find someone who can deal with the root cause.
Yeah.
100%. So then I started the CBT eventually, and I ended up actually getting that through the NHS. That were brilliant. They gave me 4 sessions, and then went, oh, I think you need more intensive. There's clearly something.
Sorry.
Because see the
No,
fly
that's
there, like,
alright.
Sorry.
yeah, they said I think there's something clearly from the past that's not helping, so you need something called intensive CBT. So it's an 8-month wait, and I was like, right. So now I'm on a waiting list for the CBT, but the CBT was helping me. They knew that. They said it's so beneficial to you, but now you've got to wait another 8 months, and I understand that that's the crack. But private CBT is like nearly £100 a week
Oh my god.
for an hour.
I'm not being funny, but you can go on ChatGPT and type in to ask me CBT questions.
Yeah.
Oh no,
ChatGPT.
my ChatGPT hates me. It's like, oh, go away. Leave me alone.
Because with CBT, a lot of it you do it yourself anyway, don't
Yeah,
you?
you
So they
do.
tell you what to do, and then it's like anything you have to practice. I did CBT for a little bit of time when I was quite depressed after I'd had Romy, and I think it helped me a little bit, but I don't know, to be honest.
That wasn't the turning point.
It wasn't the turning point, but it got me through
Yeah.
a little
And
bit.
I was the same as well. It's not that helped me. It helped me go in the right direction, but it was more the looking after me.
Yeah. That's it, like finding yourself, working on you. That's the thing that's really helped me. Like I'm at a place now where I've just moved in with my partner. I can work on me because he allows that, so I'm not in like any sort of toxic relationship and stuff, which is a massive factor for PMDD. If someone has PMDD, you can't be in a toxic relationship and someone who doesn't support you, because it is the worst combination ever.
Gosh, I could only imagine.
It's horrible. So there was a point that changed a lot for me as well when I moved back home at, I think I was 25. It were a massive shift for me, and it were quite. I moved because I just wanted the best relationship, and it wasn't really my choice to go back home. But I went back home, and it probably changed my life and the trajectory of my pathway for my business and everything. And it was the best thing for me. So when I moved back home, though, my thoughts and feelings weren't that. Now I've learned that after being, now I've got my own house. It's 3 years later, etc. But at the time, I felt really embarrassed, if you get what I mean. Like, it's really sad that at 25, I've moved back home and I were in my mum and dad's spare room in bunk beds that my niece and nephew sleep in. Because I just didn't have a room anymore. Like, I'd moved out, so I didn't have a room. And it just felt really embarrassing and degrading. But the amount of people that go through stuff like this, like, I just want you all to know it's not embarrassing.
Exactly.
It's not embarrassing, and it happens to the best of us.
Because I think life takes you a few steps back to catapult you forward, doesn't it?
I needed that. I needed to go back home. Like, that was not serving me no more. It was a massive hindrance to my life, was the relationship. So for me, to move back home and to just have time away from everything, that's when I kind of got back into my manifesting again. That's when I got back into journaling, finding me, and then it just changed my life.
So just to go back into a few steps back,
Put
I
that.
know it's obviously a touchy subject, but there'll be so many people out there that have been through, I don't know, a traumatic experience, and they need to let it out. So relationships,
Yeah.
toxic relationships, abusive relationships. So can you just tell us a little bit about what you went through, what you're comfortable talking about?
Yeah,
where that's
so
concerned?
without going into too much detail, the relationship, we were just young, we were together, and it just weren't flowing no more. There were a lot of things that happened in the relationship that it just didn't serve me. There were no need for me to be in that position. And I think these days there's too many young girls and women that are just going through this, and I just think like I was so male centered. Is that the word? I was very male centered. Like my partner, it was who I was.
You placed your worth on
Yeah,
somebody else.
I placed my worth way too much on a man. Why did I do that? Because then the minute that I stepped away from that, I was like, right, well now I can place a worth on me and find me again. And it was just really quite shocking the way I used to act. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Everything is, any of these like life events are here for you to learn from.
Oh yeah.
So you might have gone through a you know, shitty relationship or whatever, but then I'm guessing you've learned from it, and
100%.
now you'd never do that again.
No.
You know your worth, you know your standards.
Boundaries, massive thing.
And you learned it early, you went through that early.
Yeah.
Some women, like you say, are still stuck in that.
Mm-hmm.
So you with somebody else now, aren't you?
Yeah, he's called
So where
Jack.
did he come into the story?
So I was single, and I was obviously still living at home, not in the bunk beds no more.
Is it called Jack?
It's called Jack.
It's called
Yeah, he's the Jacks. He's the Jacks. So I was single, and I was living at home still. I had no interest in a boyfriend. Like I just didn't want one. I was going on dates and stuff, as we all do when we're single. But I was like, oh, I hate men. Like I hated them, and I was just concentrating on me. And I feel like when I started to concentrate on me, I wanted someone in my life who was self-employed, who understood and was on the same vibe as me. And then I know this sounds really strange, but I went to a meditation class, and I've been going to them for ages, and they were talking about manifesting your partner or who you want your life partner to be. And I was seeing all this stuff, so I wrote a letter of what I wanted him to specifically look like and everything.
When? How long?
How did he turn up?
So he just turned
Just
basically
knocked on the door.
He came in salon and I got his mate. No, he didn't. No. No. So I met him through mutual friends basically, and then he was very forward, and he was like, I'm taking you on a date next Thursday, and I was like, you're not. What it worries, and he'll laugh about this if he does listen, he'd messaged me through my mutual friend, and I voice noted him back thinking that I'd put him off when he heard my accent because I was like proper common. So I thought, I don't want a boyfriend. And then he voice noted back, I love that, you're local, aren't you? You're from near me, 2 minutes round corner.
No way.
I thought, fuck's sake, I tried to put him off me. And then I went on a date, and it's just flowed, and now we've been together nearly 3 years.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, there's ups and downs, like obviously
life.
trauma from past relationships, stuff like that comes into relationships, and it plays a massive role in it, and we've had to get through that together. So I'm not saying it's been this fairy tale, because life's never a fairy tale, but we've found a happy medium, and that's what's good for me. And it flourishes. If a relationship lets me flow and flourish in life and be me, that's what I want.
Exactly.
And that's what I got.
Yeah.
So
and he allows you to be you.
Yeah, and he's like self-employed too, so he understands. Like a lot of people, I work weekends a lot too. He does. So I wanted someone like that in my life that understood and wasn't going to try and refrain me from doing what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh well, I'm off on Saturday. You will. No, like I'm working. That's my business. I'm building myself up.
And I think these are the things that people forget to think about when they're manifesting a partner or trying to join a partner. We focus so much on what we want them to look like, how much money they've got, all that sort of stuff. But really, like, think about how they're going to fit into your life.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to be aligned and compatible where that's concerned as well. It's all right trying to manifest someone in that looks the part, but then if they don't understand that side of you, it can mess your things up. It can mess your whole whatever you've got going on.
Yeah, you flow.
Totally knock you off track.
I needed someone to come into my life as well that were a bit more understanding of my mental health with like my PMDD and that. And I didn't actually know that I was experiencing PMDD at the time. It was actually him that pushed me to try and get the what's the word, the diagnosis. Yeah, it was him that tried to push me, or like he's always checking in, like, oh, how's this, how's that, and that's what I needed. I didn't need someone who was gonna make me feel a bad person for struggling. Yeah. And a lot of people that I have speak to on a daily basis say, oh well, my partner isn't supportive and stuff, you don't realise how actually like detrimental that is. If you suffer with something like me, it can really fuck you up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's
I
not
know
good.
I've spoken to so many people, and I've had friends that have, I think emotionally available men is something that an emotionally available man is something that every woman needs, especially if they suffer with mental health problems.
100%.
Because if you've got a stonewall who is closed off and is not empathic, that's just going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Or if they do things in a relationship to make it worse, it's only going to make your mental health drain even more.
Exactly.
So it's like, what is the point with being with that person?
Yeah.
If there's anyone out there that has an emotionally available man and you are suffering and they are not taking you into consideration, then you really need to think about what you want to do. And I'm not trying to ruin anyone's relationship here, but
dump that man.
Yeah,
or the girl, dump the man or the woman.
I do think like now that you with him
God,
though.
on your head.
Oh shit! What the fuck? I felt like someone touched me earlier actually. Maybe no.
Let me just touch on this a little bit. Sorry, I was before bug.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Bug gate. So obviously you were just saying then about if women are in that situation to look into it. But I am a massive firm believer that we do have to go through these things to learn from it. So I'm guessing if that hadn't have happened to you in that previous relationship, would it have led you to the relationship you're in now? Would it have led you to that type of man
100%,
who is more understanding? Do you know what I mean?
I had to go through that.
That
was part of my journey.
Yeah.
And as sad as that sounds, like that actually taught me so much about me.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to be me. I think if I wouldn't have gone through that, then I'd probably gone through it in the future.
Yeah.
Again, like a little bit later.
Yeah,
at some point,
I had shit going on.
Yeah.
It had to happen before you got there.
It makes me it's like part of my story now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
and it gives me that bit of experience. So when I do have these young girls sat in front of me in my chair and they're telling me all sorts, I'm like, I actually went for what? You're really happy though now? And I'm like, yeah, but that don't mean shit. Like at one point I wasn't. Yeah. So I just want you to know that I have experience in that too. Yeah. And I think it makes you a little bit more relatable when 100%. You're trying to 100%. Talk the talk. Like, yeah, I've been through that. So
I think when you're here to help and guide and inspire and all that sort of stuff, you have to have lived it yourself. Because how can you sit there and help someone with something that you haven't even been through yourself? There's no emotional connection there. You can't resonate because you've not been through it.
It's like with me, I'm not out of touch. There's a lot of people who online who claim themselves as influencers. Do you know when I say it like that? I never wanted to be an influencer online, but if I am an influencer, I want it to like influence people in the right way. Do you know what I mean? Not to go buy a Ninja coffee machine at £500, spend all your money. I want to influence you to go and be a better version of yourself.
Exactly,
babe. So I'm now at a place where I'm like focused on my fitness, focused on what I'm actually eating makes a massive difference with PMDD, stuff like that. I mean, I still love a McDonald's all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them people. But yeah, I think just working on you is the best medicine that you can ever have for yourself. Definitely. And linking that back to my job, I could never do that while I was working in education because I was so focused on helping everyone else.
You're just pouring out of your cup constantly.
Pouring it down drain and then that's it. I don't have anything left for me. So now I'm like so focused on filling my own cup and having a boundary with my business. Like business comes very high, but it comes first. I come first.
Exactly. Love that girl.
Yes.
That's what we've been teaching Kim, haven't we, babes? That's what, because Kim can relate to you a lot, I think.
100%.
Struggle with it.
Massively. I don't even know where I can't even get started with
hard.
it.
Yeah, it's not your episode, Kim.
No, I can't. It's too much, but you're totally right. The highs, the lows, but you have to come first. Otherwise, the business isn't going to flourish.
100%.
You can keep pushing and pushing and pushing for it to be a success, but that's money, and a busy column doesn't mean success.
No, it don't.
Happy you is a
100%.
success.
I've been at a point before where I've been booked and busy for 3 months in advance. It's amazing. Money's flowing in. So unhappy.
Yeah, definitely.
So unhappy in myself, not working on me, not having no time to work on me, and then I've got to a point where I'm just like, right, like, am I going to start hating makeup now and feeling burnt out from this and have to change career again? But no, as soon as I started working on myself, I was like, right, this was the problem. I put myself on back burner and that was it.
I think so many women do the same thing. I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? Because I think the way that we get conditioned through life is to kind of put up and shut up, get on with it.
Yeah, on social media, it promotes it too much. It's really toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic positivity.
This is where
You
I'm
have
at right
to keep
now.
going. No, you don't. You need to stop. You need to breathe. You need to work on yourself, and then you need to keep going.
Because I feel like it's all that masculine energy.
It's
Everyone's
too
keeping
much.
on with that masculine energy. Let's be in our feminine energy.
I did it for a long time, and I kind of cringe when I look back a bit now. I used to put on like, right, and I still do it now sometimes. This is my POA. Look how busy I am. I've got 12-hour day. Everyone see doing it for everyone else, and I want doing out for me. But then it's because I saw on social media everyone's doing it, so I thought I have to do that.
But I think everyone's looking for validation.
Exactly.
That's the reason
Yeah,
behind
and
doing
I think
that.
the thing about it is as well, is who are we doing it for? For them to watch that and then think, oh my God, well I have made that, so why is her stuff better than mine? And then, so really we're kind of damaging each other with that.
Oh, 100%.
Whereas if we all just relaxed and just embraced our feminine energy and just, obviously, you've got to talk about your wins and you've got to be proud of your wins.
Yeah.
But talk about your losses as well.
Yeah,
be real.
exactly.
Oh,
be
God,
real.
yeah.
Share
and
the
talk about your
Yeah.
emotional wins.
Yeah.
And your family wins
Yeah.
and the things that actually matter as well, not just. Sorry, guys. What's that? Right, I'm just in the middle of filming the podcast, Mum, so I'll have to call you back. Bye.
On cue.
Yeah, and I just think it's really important to, like we say, balance. You know, we need to be, we want to be winners, you know, we all want to do amazing, we all want to have our own businesses, and I think that's the way forward now.
Yeah.
Especially with where things are going, it's important to kind of find your passion and build on it, but also look after yourself, your family, do the things that you want to do, holidays. What's the point in grind if you can't enjoy it? There's just no point. You're burning yourself out mentally, emotionally and spiritually for money that's sat there. You can't spend it because you don't have time, because your head's just constantly in business, so it's just pointless. And I think as well, it ends up giving you a money wound.
Oh, 100%.
When you focused on that sort of stuff. I think once you kind of relax from that and just know that everything's going to be all right anyway, and having the knowing, which is what I'm going to go into next actually with you, because you're a big one where manifestation is concerned.
Oh God, yeah.
So
absolutely.
Tell us about that. Like, give me a manifestation story.
So things like, and it sounds really cliche, but I've said this before 1,000 times. I always do vision boards, right? And I do them unknowingly sometimes. I've put like random hotels on vision boards. Been sat in the hotel a few years later and thought, well, let me pull this up. And I'm there.
Oh my God.
And I'm there, like, I really wanted to go to this place in Mexico. I had no idea the name, I just found it on Pinterest. And I sat on a sun lounge and I thought, one minute, I've manifested being here because now I'm here a few years later.
Yeah.
But manifesting is really important to me because I feel like that's how I got into makeup, because I manifested the growth, I manifested the clients, and I brought them to me through my own energy.
And what does manifesting look like for you? Obviously, you've said the vision board, but what is it like? How would you describe how you actually manifest?
I think it's not all, see, it's hard because you're not all about like positive energy. Like, people can negatively manifest things, can't they, as well?
Yeah, we're manifesting 24/7, aren't we?
24/7 just with the thoughts in your mind. But I think manifesting to me just means thinking about what you want and it coming to you when it's ready.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
100%. Absolutely.
I
agree.
It's hard to define it in my own head, but I feel like I've just done it subconsciously my whole life, but sometimes negatively. I used to speak really bad all the time. Like, oh, this is never going to work out for me. This is never going to... And then as soon as I kind of stopped doing that, I was manifesting the things and it was flowing. The energy was flowing.
That is a massive thing for me, and this is something that I scream all the time on my social media. I'm very much get yourself out of victim mindset now. Like, people don't realise the words are spells.
Yeah.
Just by switching that negative thought to a positive one, it has a ripple effect in energy. Everything is energy, isn't
100%.
it? So, yeah, I agree with that.
I still do it sometimes, though, by accident. I'll say things that but we all do it.
Yeah,
every day.
But then I sit down, I'm like, right, I've spoke about this today. Why did I think like that? And I go into it in a journal and I try and get it out in a way that's more positive. Can't do it all the time because life's stressful.
Well, this is where the mindfulness comes in, isn't it? And that is exactly what mindfulness is.
Yeah.
It's being aware of ourselves, our thoughts and our feelings, and delving more into that.
just
into
being
the
a bit
bottom
more
of it.
aware of
Just
yourself.
being aware of it, yeah.
Yeah, which I
And
feel
then
like I
positively
do now.
correcting it.
Yeah.
I'm aware of my own actions as well a lot more recently. Like, there's been times in my PMDD where I've really like treated other people like shit. I know that sounds odd, but that's not my fault.
That's not you, yeah.
But like, I'm more. I can take accountability, whereas I could never do
Yeah.
that before. And I can take criticism, I can take constructive feedback, all that. But I just could never do it. I were very
part of growing up as
Growing,
well, though.
yeah.
How old are you, Toni?
I'm 29.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
exactly. We have to, you know, I were a right bitch when I was younger. I said some awful things to people and then always went home and felt bad about it.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, actually, what could they be going through today that makes them like that? Because that's them, that's not me. And it gets to a point where you kind of think, right, well, that's their problem, not mine. And that doesn't have to make them anything in my mind. It doesn't have to kind of exist there.
Like, growth comes from like seeing a little bit more deep. Like, if someone's like a bit rude to me that day, like say if a friend has a little bit of a clap back at me, I'm like, they're stressed out.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
it's fine. Whereas before I'd be
But
like,
just imagine.
It's sit on your energy all day.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah. Never speaking to her again, Mum.
I am blocking her right now.
But I love this generation that there's so many people going through this, like working on themselves more, being more accountable, reflecting more. So imagine in 10 years' time
exactly
where we're going to be.
Oh God, yeah.
Actually, let's go into that. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time?
So where I see myself is integrating youth work and makeup together. So I've always said I want to do government funded like courses for young people to get them started in a business mindset, not just business mindset, but showing them that they can do what they want when they put their mind to it. So like with makeup, for me, learning makeup work, I've learned a skill, but I feel like it transformed me as a person because it taught me that I can do whatever I put my mind to.
Exactly.
And I'd love to do like a 6-week course, something with a bunch of young people who don't believe in themselves and they come out on the other end and they believe in themselves, and teach them what I've probably learned in the past 5 years at a young age. Like, even when I worked in the school, I used to say to the kids, you can't leave without telling me you're going to absolutely smash it today. You can't leave this classroom. Because you used to say, I'm going to fail all my GCSEs. And I'd be like, if you go out of that room and say that out there, I swear to God. Like, I just love to do something like that and integrate them both and just be happy and just be healthy. Yeah. And just, the basics really, because that's all I crave.
It's absolutely adorable. Kim's asked you a question of where you see yourself, and you're more interested in what you can do for other people.
There's no mention of money, riches, holidays.
No. I asked about like money, and you know, I've always said this, and I use that poor car out there as a example. It's a banged up Fiat 500 that I've had since I first could drive. I don't care for big cars and money.
I've drove
cute
one
until
before.
it's
So
shaking
good.
up there. It's cute until it's conking out in a car park in middle of everyone. But I don't care for materialistic things, and I never really have done. For me, like, money don't impress me. Someone could tell me they earn £1 million a week. I don't care. Are you happy? Do you know what I mean? That's what's more important.
And that's your learning story so far. You've realised being booked and busy and burnt out was not success, and actually it's the complete opposite. And
I feel like in life as well, I've always had to get things myself. I've never been handed a plate full of money. I've never been handed anything on a plate. So for me, it just doesn't matter at all.
I love that, babe.
Oh no, go you.
So I want to know about what you've got coming up a little bit more.
Yes.
Because you've dropped a few spoilers on your Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on in Toni's world next then?
So I'm not going to say way too much. So before I did an online course, as you'll have seen, I do the softcom. I don't know if you've seen my Instagram, but I do online courses, so I teach people that can buy the course. I felt like I had a business coach, and she got me to a point where I was selling the courses, it was going really well, but it weren't me. And I feel like I want to put my energy into it. I felt very much like, right, I've put myself in a box here where everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's just, right, I don't want to be a boss babe earning online. That's not for me no more. So I'm transforming it in a way that aligns with me, in a way where I can help people mentally too. So it's going to be makeup and mindset combined in a course.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of twists and turns to it.
Okay.
Ooh,
that sounds interesting.
Because I just thought, I sat there and I was like, I aren't getting no real pleasure out of people learning the makeup from me. It's brilliant, but I'm enjoying them coming to me and say they feel more confident in it. And I was like, right, so I'm pulling
It's
that.
what's underneath what they're
like,
doing.
Yeah.
Great, you've done the makeup look, you've done it perfectly. I love that for you, and I'm so glad you gained that from my course. But you've come and told me that you feel confident now, and I was like, that's giving me a buzz.
Yeah.
Where can I go with this?
It's like I've worked with business coaches, and I think when I look at my Instagram, it is just full of business coaches, and they're all teaching the same stuff constantly. And even me, I found myself stepping back from it because there's no, like you said, there's no meaning behind it. It's just more money, chasing that success.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, my business coach, unreal, amazing. She got me to a point where I knew that that was a new way of income.
Yeah.
But I don't want to focus anymore on income.
You've learned what you needed to learn.
I learned what I need to learn.
And now you make it your own.
100%. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, right, it doesn't align with me no more. So how can I make it realign to a point? Because I don't know, it sounds really stupid and people probably think liar. I'm not asked about money. Like when it comes to earning it from things, if I could do things for free, I could. I need to stop myself sometimes giving people the treatments for free because they say they're upset. It's just, that's just who I am. So that's definitely coming.
Energy exchange is important though, because again, energetically that would cause burnout if you kept giving and not receiving. Obviously everything is energy, so it's important. This is what I've been teaching you on back end as well, because I think Kim's wants to go more into more wellness. Is
that what you want to do?
But I think Kim was a little bit worried about charging for that, and I was like, don't be silly, like
we've got to do it.
Energy exchange. Obviously there'll be times like a couple of weeks ago I got reached out by a woman, and she asked me to come and be part of on International Women's Day at the hospital and do whatever I wanted to do for the women. And I thought I could have just gone and spoke about what I do, but instead I sat there and I did them all like little mini readings, and I didn't earn a penny. In fact, I lost money because I had to cancel 2 of my clients, and I went through a speeding
you went through a camera,
so it's got a speeding. But I didn't care because I knew those women who were rushed off their feet, who were burnt out, and about half of the women sat there and cried. They needed that. So like when you do go into like wellness, mindfulness, spirituality, there will be times when you do want to give, and that's all right, because as light workers or as healers, as therapists, as empaths, we are on this earth to give back as well.
So you need to read your rewards.
Exactly, of course. So it's just having the discernment to know what's draining it and what's
it's about knowing your worth too, because when I first started makeup, a lot of brands would want to work with me, and at first I jumped at the opportunity to do things for free because it built my page up, it built my audience up, and that worked great. But now sometimes I'm like, right, you're taking piss out of me because you know I'm kind. So I've lost a lot of connections with a few brands because I've been like, oh well, actually this is what I'm going to charge, and
they don't like
crickets.
Oh,
so you don't like that now?
No,
because I'm actually.
But they want to reap the benefits from that.
But they know I'm kind, so they've probably tried it and pushed it a bit too much. And I look back and I'm like, right, you little mug, let's get this sorted.
Yeah, it's good for you. Boundaries.
100% boundaries,
which is important in business.
Yeah, definitely.
Very important, and I just didn't have that for a long time. But yeah, you've got to do it.
But it's a learning curve, isn't it? And I think at first you do have to put yourself out there. You have to go above and beyond, and you're undercharged and you're doing all this to build your business. But then when you get to that point, I think everyone has to go through that.
Definitely.
I do think they have to go through that. So, but yeah, you do get to that certain point where you're like, right, I'm at this stage now, I can put my boundaries in place, and he's sticking to them boundaries as well.
You just level up every cycle, don't you? And it gets to a point where every few months I'm like, right, this ain't clicking with me no more, so I need to change things. I like to keep it consistently flowing, otherwise I don't want to ever be at a place again in any sort of job where I'm at the point where I'm crying before I'm going into work, because that's happened before, and I don't ever want to do that.
And no one should have to.
And the amount of people that actually come and sit in my chair and tell me that's what they do, that's why I'm creating what I'm creating, because I don't want no one to be sat there feeling really sad, like we get one life. I know that sounds really cringy, but it's true. Like,
no, it is.
And then it's true. But they're stuck in that 9 mile 5, aren't they? They're conditioned.
Yeah, exactly.
They're conditioned.
Don't get me started on all that.
Right, she's off on
one. That's for another episode, guys.
But I think in our industry we meet so many people. Like this has been a light bulb for me the last few months after working with you as well, and it is sad to see how people think that's a normal way of living life.
Yeah, it is
Just
really
settling
sad.
for less, 9 or 5, working for someone else, not being able to enjoy life. Like I've said it before, no way am I working in this job until I'm 60 and then celebrating after that at 60.
No.
I'm celebrating
Power,
now.
yeah.
I'm in my prime.
In your
I'm
prime when you look
Yeah.
hot.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
celebrating
I'm
now.
Celebrating now, bitches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
But
that
life
is
is a
so
celebration,
good for
isn't
you.
it?
For you to like teach people that and
Yeah.
so,
Get them out of that box.
Yeah.
People put them inside a box. I did it for a long time and
Yeah.
kind of crept out of it now. But
So if you could say something, so if a girl that was you walked in here, a girl that was like going through what you went through when you was working in the job, when you was unhappy, before you moved on to really bite the bullet and do what you did, what words of advice would you give for this girl?
I know it sounds so cliche, but just go for it. Like, what is the worst that could happen? If it's meant for you, it'll be meant for you. And if it's not, someone will find its way to help you out.
Exactly.
It's so true.
You
Like
have to believe in
with
yourself.
makeup, like my mum and dad, bless them, they were really panicking when I left my job. They were like, "What have you done that for? You went to uni, you got a degree, you wore the hat and everything, and now look like what you do." But now they get it, you see. But obviously, back
It's
in
all
their
we know, that
day,
this
it were
is-
different.
yeah, exactly.
You go and do your 9 to 5, and that's your life.
Yeah.
But this were very different to them, very alien. So I think they
Yeah.
panicked. But now they're kind of understanding more of it. But I want people to understand that is, you know, it's not just a life like go to uni.
No.
I think this is where I didn't align working in education no more, because it was a system of, right, you need to go to college now so you can go to uni. Whereas I was like, but what if they want to be self-employed?
Exactly.
But what if they want to do that? And
Yeah.
I think if you were saying like, what would I do in 10 years? It'd be teaching young people, especially that too. Like, don't have to
Just
go.
believe in themselves.
Why are you stressing? The poor kids are literally so stressed out and burnt out over GCSE results.
Over a bit of
yeah.
paper.
It's so sad, but I can't work in education no more, because I'm thinking, how can I say
Because it doesn't align with your values. What then?
Yeah. And as much as I enjoyed the job, I just can't go on seeing kids that are stressed out as well over.
Yeah. My son's
stuff
going
like-
through it at the moment. He's about to do his GCSEs, and it's so crazy because obviously now working on myself, I can reflect a lot, and I'm constantly in this mind battle with myself, knowing GCSEs aren't important. Like, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do, but then I also have this. I've still got that, like, this conditioned mind that thinks I've still got to push it. And that is such a difficult situation to be in. It's hard.
Like, I don't have any kids yet, but I think when I do have kids, that's going to be a hard thing for me.
Oh, see, I don't give a shit, me. I'm just like, you are. I know my son's going to be an entrepreneur and he's going to do absolutely amazing. He's got all the skills in his mind and his soul. He doesn't need that. I'm never going to force him or push him. Don't get me wrong, I'll encourage him to show up and do what you need to do. I'm not going to let him be no bum and say, oh, don't do you don't have to do it, so try your hardest. But I don't care.
You're just giving him a structure in life and he can do what he wants with that, basically.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, girls, it's been absolutely amazing. Toni, thank you so much for coming on. And I'm sure we'll have you on something again.
It's been lovely to get to know you.
Yeah, I want you two on something as well.
Yeah, love it.
So what's coming up soon? You two are going to be involved.
Oh my god! Her presence takes on the world.
Let's manifest it, girlies.
Let's manifest it together. I love that.
Yeah, I love you, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all of our wonderful viewers. We hope you loved this week's episode as much as we did. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon. Mwah!